1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason. You can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeart, and Amazon. Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. Now, if you're interested and would like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. Welcome to episode 24. All right there, folks. So today, I want to talk about something that I think we all struggle with at some point of our lives. Letting go of toxic people. All right. So whether it's a friend, a family member, or even a romantic partner, it can be incredibly difficult to cut ties with someone who's been a part of your life for a long time. But sometimes it's necessary for our own well-being and growth. Now, I know this from personal experience. A few years ago, I had a friend who I'd been very close with for years. But over time, I began to realize that our friendship was no longer healthy. He was constantly being negative and would bring things up that would bring me down, with her complaining and her gossiping. He would always go into a guilt trip me into things I didn't want to do. I found myself just not wanting to be around him, drained, unhappy, and exhausted after spending time with him. It took me a long time to muster up the courage to end this friendship. But when I look back on it, I know it was the right decision. I realized that I was better off without his toxic energy in my life, and that letting him go, I was making room for a more positive and more fulfilling relationships and friendships. Sometimes you have to let something go to make room for something new. And it's the same thing when it comes to toxic relationships. So if you're struggling with letting go of a toxic person in your life, here's a couple of things you can keep in mind when you're thinking about making room for something new and for something better. Because again, these are relationships, but they're bonds. And letting go of those bonds can be very, very hard and extremely painful because we care about that person. But we also have to care about ourselves and love ourselves enough to know that we need to get out of something that is unhealthy and sometimes making us sick. So here's a few things to keep in mind. First, remember it's okay to put yourself first. Your mental and emotional well-being should always come first. And if someone in your life is consistently bringing you down, it's not worth you keeping them around. Second, try to focus on the positive aspects of your life. When you're going through a difficult time, it can be easy to get caught up in the negative thoughts and feelings. But by focusing on things that can bring you joy and happiness and fulfillment, you'll be better equipped to handle the challenges that come your way. And they will come your way. Finally, don't be afraid to seek support from others, whether it's a therapist, a trusted friend, or a support group. Talking with someone about your struggles can be incredibly helpful. Sometimes just having someone listen and offer advice can make all the difference. I can say this, the men's group that I've been in, I haven't been with them in a while, but especially during my cancer I was in, was extremely helpful. Being able to share my feelings, being able to listen to other people and know that I'm not the only one going through these things is absolutely helpful and absolutely amazing and can be such a difference maker for you. I would definitely suggest, if you have an opportunity to speak to someone, again, a therapist. People nowadays are more open and accepting to therapy, and it could really be a difference maker with you. Also, don't be afraid to turn to God. I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of awakenings and openings that happened for me when I took a small amount of time each day and just was started off with saying affirmations, but then would just be quiet. My walks on the beach, I would just listen to the ocean and feel the wind and the breeze, and in those moments, I would get answers for what I was looking for, and sometimes even things I wasn't looking for. It's absolutely amazing. So don't discount it. I know in the past, especially for men, therapy was something that was, frowned upon. But in today's world, with all the mental health issues that we're seeing, being able to have an opportunity to speak to someone, whether it be in therapy or a support group or somebody that you really trust. I mean, people, that's what these social media platforms are. This podcast, going on TikTok, you see it everywhere. There are forums and platforms that you can use, and you can share these things, and you will come to find that you are not alone. That you really aren't, and you don't have to stay stuck in relationships that are negative and that are destroying you mentally, physically, emotionally, just tearing you apart. You don't have to be a part of them. You're either facing a storm, you're in a storm, or coming out of a storm. Now you can face the storm and try and go around it or run away from it. But guess what? It's going to catch up with you. And if you're running away from it for a long time, you're going to be exhausted by the time it catches you. You can try and go around it, but you're looking at the same thing. But when you go into that storm and you stay the course, because sometimes people will get into the storm and they'll try and go back, but you're in the storm. You try to go back and you're running with the storm now. Go forward, move ahead. Keep going forward. Fight through that storm. You'll see daybreak, and you'll come out on the other side. Now, what you do with when you come out on the other side is going to be completely up to you. You can take what you learned in that journey and use it, or you can ignore it and keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Remember this. Letting go of toxic people is never easy, right? But it's often necessary for our own well-being. By focusing on the positive aspects of our lives and seeking support from others, we can move forward with confidence and create a happier and healthier future for ourselves. You deserve more. You deserve more than what you've been dealing with, who you've been dealing with. Today's the day you stop being a doormat. Today's the day you get rid of those negative pieces that are in your life to make room for you. For you to love yourself. For you to appreciate who you are. For you to be able to do the things you've always wanted to do, but have been told by these negative people that you can't do it. And the reason why they're telling you can't do it is because they've never done anything before. And they don't want to be left behind. So I'm going to keep as many people as I can down here with me. Today's your day to be great. Today's your day to move forward, progress, and get rid of the toxic. I've been in horrific toxic environments. In fact, one that I spoke about, a place that I worked at that was so toxic that I truly believe my cancer came back because of the environment that I was in. Now, mind you, I didn't help any, but I was given no grace. I was not appreciated or respected or liked. And I felt abandoned and I felt unheard. And I truly believe that caused me to get sick again. My life right now, I still have struggles. I still have struggles financially. I sometimes still have struggles emotionally. But I'm here. I'm here. And guess what? I'm pretty happy. Despite all these negative things of, there's still one or two toxic people I need to get out of my life. I have a job that I really enjoy and have fun with, coworkers who are great, with a great company. I've got my son, who I love dearly. I have lost my dad and most recently my mom. But I have so many other people that support me. And I have an amazing partner who is definitely my person. And this is someone I've been waiting for a very long time. And I'm very blessed to have them in my life. And I have Catalyst. And, this is something that I'm so happy that I started. It took me a while to start, but now that I have started it, I'm so happy. And we're not where we want to be yet, but we will be. And I look forward to it. And I look forward to growing. And I look forward to hearing from you out there. I look forward to what's ahead. And you should too. Make room for the good. Get rid of the toxic. It'll be painful. It'll be challenging. But it'll be worth it. So I want to thank you so much for listening. This is the Catalyst Podcast. Raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason. You can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeart, and Amazon. A Catalyst has the power to create change. We hope that's what this podcast will do. And I hope it will do it to help you get rid of that toxic person or people that are in your life or situations. You have the power within you to do that. And if you would like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivation561@gmail. catalystmotivation561@gmail. Thank you so much for listening to episode 24. We'll see you on episode 25. Go be great.